Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. This video will test my ability to not screw up an insanely strong draft. It's probably as lucky as I will ever get in Arena draft in a good long while. Now, there were some bad moments like the Moonfire pick, but with all those epics and just high quality commons, and even there's a swipe in there, it really all falls on my head if I lose, because it means I either misdrafted or misplayed or both. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Up against Slippery Neil as opposed to his opposite. What's the opposite of Slippery? Frictionful Neil? Anyway, we kept the sheep and the claw. I figured let's keep the sheep as a kind of bad early game removal. So that I can last long enough to get my Druids of the Claw and stuff online. Top decked into the Infiltrator, which is a nice early play. Let's see if it can kill something for me. My opponent does nothing on turn one. So I don't want to play the sheep, unfortunately, because it will just set me up for a terrible 2-for-1. He can just then kill the sheep and it will kill off the Infiltrator. So, leaving the sheep alone, now we're going to see if he coins something out or just plays a 2-drop. I've got Claw Shapeshift at the ready to kill something. If he actually steady shots me, I'll play Mr. Tinkers, but I doubt that would happen. So please don't play Spider Tank. It's Spider Tank! Oh, God. Well, there's really nothing I can do to avoid a 2-for-1 here. I guess I'll play the Novice Engineer. See what it spits out. Okay, well, I'm not going to dick around. Let's just go ahead and kill this thing, accept the loss. Accept the fact that I have a 1-1 in response to his 3-drop. And that next turn I can't do anything except for play Mr. Tinkers. So it's just all around bad. I'd say that Spider Tank, again actually, second time in this run, gave me a really, really bad position. Alrighty. Well, I can play Mr. Tinkers to trade with the Cobra, or I could play the Sheep to trade with the Cobra. Nothing seems that great. You know what? Mr. Tinkers is more valuable to me than this sheep, so I'm just going to play the sheep and have it trade with the Cobra. Seems pretty clear at this point that my opponent's not going to swarm the board with a bunch of little stuff. So let's get this Cobra hopefully out of the way with the sheep, and then we'll play Druid of the Claw next. I guess he could actually hit the sheep with some kind of other removal, then the Cobra will stay at 2 health. But Mr. Tinkers would have died to most removal anyway. And, well, he's an owl. That's unfortunate. Now I can't play Druid of the Claw, unless of course I'm willing to have it die to the Cobra. Okay. What do we do here? I think maybe Mr. Tinkers is the way to go, because the sheep is still a mech. So I get a 4-4 to trade with the Cobra. I get Time Rewinder, which is interesting. But I don't think I really need that. I'd rather just kill the owl and keep both of my 1-1s. Now that the sheep has been silenced, the Cobra kills my 4-4, which looks bad, but it's a 3-drop trading for a 3-drop, and I'm free to play Druid of the Claw. Actually, by this point, I might not even play Druid of the Claw. I might just play Dark Whispers on this Novice Engineer to get a 6-6 Taunter. Okay, this is good to see because it's better than him playing some kind of a 5-drop. This is also good to see because it means he's not using any sort of removal on it. I can also kill this Web Spinner with either of my creatures. And he steady shots, which is really good. He's actually got a bit of a weak hand here. Alright, so how do we do this? I could Shapeshift to kill the Spinner, and then still play Piloted Shredder. I could go for Dark Whispers. Let's try this. Let's, you know, keep up as much board presence as I can. If I hadn't gotten the Shredder, of course I wouldn't have Shapeshifted, because that would have left me with Jack-All and Squat to do. But this seems like a safe way of playing it out. And then we'll kind of judge whether Dark Whispers, the Druid, or Ancient of War, or maybe even Starfire are more appropriate next turn. It's nice to have some options. Time Rewinder could be used on the Novice Engineer, but I don't know if I actually want to do that. So I'm willing to have this, excuse me, just be a dead card, sort. Until I figure out a better use for it. Alright, he plays another Spider Tank. This guy's really not doing very much. Can I get away with a Druid of the Claw here? I totally can, so I'm just going to do it. We'll play a Druid of the Claw, go to Bear form, kill that, Shapeshift, kill that. This Novice Engineer has been sticking around for quite a while, so has the Silenced Sheep. Honestly, the fact that he silenced the sheep was pretty helpful because that let me play out my other creatures. Had he actually killed the sheep and left the Cobra alive, that would have been much more annoying for me. Mr. Tinkers wouldn't have given me the time rewinder then. It just would have all been very different. Let me lower the volume a little bit. Bink. Okay, so the spiders are kind of annoying, although I could deal with it. I could just run in and pop both of these. Captain's Parrot must be what he got from the web spinner. Okay, is it worth it to silence this spider? Can I actually kill him? Hang on a minute. We got 4, 5, 6 plus 5 is 11, 12 damage. Then is it 7 health? What to do? And I'm threatening lethal with Starfire. Wait, what? Sorry, 4, 5, 6 plus 5 is 11, 12 damage. 19 minus 12 is 7. So I'm not exactly threatening lethal with Starfire, but it's close. I think probably anything I do wins at this point, so we'll just do this. Let's put it on the sheep, because I might still want to use the time rewinder on my novice engineer. I'll leave the spider alone. Okay, so I only dealt 11 damage because I shapeshifted the parrot instead of hitting him in the face, but we're threatening lethal. He hasn't demonstrated any ability to kill anything yet. Still got the Ancient of War here, still got a Starfire. Also got a swipe in the deck that can be used for burn. He's in a pretty rough shape. So Deadly Shot. Alright, he kills my second best creature. That was average luck, I would say. He doesn't have the Hunter's Mark that I'm sure he would have liked to have to do an extremely balanced 5 damage for 0 mana. He finds a Taunt, which is pretty immaterial. And yeah, well, we can kill this in a variety of ways. Let's just do that, and Starfire there. Well played. I should have played Time Rewinder to make some more progress on my daily quest, but I think I'm going to make it anyway in this video. Kind of hard to play Hearthstone for 45 minutes and not cast 4 spells. Yep, there it is. Got the last few spells I needed. Okay, well that was a pretty solid game, although not only did my arena run go incredibly well, but that opponent didn't really play any mana-appropriate minions at any point and had no removal except for Deadly Shot and a Cobra. So it was really one-sided. Like, I think if I played Hearthstone on like my first day of ever playing Hearthstone and had this run, the cards that were offered to me, and played against that Hunter, I would have won. I don't think that took any skill. Not that I'm cynical or bitter about it, just saying I don't want to give myself any credit for that one. Here's a Druid Swords. Okay, well, my deck is definitely better than the average Druid deck. So if I lose this, it's either bad luck in the draws, or the guy had an even more insane deck, or most likely I just drafted and played badly. Okay, we have a bit of a curve here. We got this, although of course the Druid can shapeshift away the Divine Shield. We've got the buff coming up the following turn if he doesn't outright kill it. To kill this, he'd have to play something right now, like a 2-3 or a 3-2. Okay, we get a little bit of a break. He doesn't have a 1-drop, which is really important. Because had he coined into a creature, he could have now shapeshifted this, killed it with the creature that he played, and then I would have either played an Empty Shattered Summon Cleric or had to claw shapeshift to kill something, or just shapeshift to kill it. Hopefully he doesn't coin into Spider Tank, which seems to be what everybody wants to do nowadays. But if he coins into something with 2 health, or plays something with 2 health, I can just kill it. If he played something with 3 health, I could do Claw Shapeshift. He decides to go for the Shapeshift to ping off the shield. So I'd say I'm not ahead, but I'm not behind either. It's just anyone's game right now. Ooh, Nerubian Egg. So here's the thing, if I play the Cleric now, I lose the opportunity to use the Egg later. So I'm actually going to play the Egg. It's really difficult for me to get any use out of this Egg. I knew when I made this choice it was the wrong one, but still, I picked it, so if I don't get a reversing switch off of my spare parts, I want to, use this up while I can. Is he going to silence that? Wow, he's actually going to silence it. Alright, so just have a 0-2 now, and he's got a 2-4. Well, let's think about this. If I do Grove Tender, I'll have 2 mana, not enough to Claw Shapeshift. Oh, geez, I can't kill this thing unless I use the Annoyatron and a Claw. Balls. Balls, balls, balls. Alright, well, I'm going to clear the board. It's not the best way of killing off a 2-4, but this gives me a decent board presence, a 3-2 and a 2-1. If he shapeshifts to kill this, that's half his mana. If he swipes to kill these two, that's a decent victory at using swipe on less than impressive target. Then I'll be able to play a Druid of the Claw. So I'm okay with most things that could happen here. He's going to Wrath to go up a card. Okay. That's half of his mana, though, and play a Blue Warrior to kill that. Well, that's pretty annoying, but the thing is, I still get to play Druid of the Claw first. So basically, I've got Druid of the Claw here. He has a card advantage. He has 7 cards to 4. This thing is mostly useless. I don't know what else I have in my deck that could help with this. Time Rewinder, maybe? I don't know. Alright, he's got an Abomination, so it's lucky for him that he got to silence this thing off. I don't want to trade there, obviously. I'd rather just go up a card. Starfire, that's one of the cards I needed. There's the worst card in my deck, Moonfire. Still could be handy. We'll see. He's got 7 cards to 5-ish. Moonfire is a bit weak. With Shapeshift, he can deal 2 damage, I suppose. Alright, he's doing really well. So he went up a card with this, and he's going to kill my Druid of the Claw with it. Of course, then he goes right back down a card with Young Dragonhawk. Interesting. Do I swipe to kill these both? That way I can keep my 4/4, and then I can also play like a Grove Tender. Or, if I just let this happen, I can Shapeshift, and with 5 mana, play another Druid of the Claw. Well, what to do? I could also play these 2 creatures. But if I'm losing this, I don't want to have a bunch of 2-power creatures on the table. But saving this is so tempting. I could swipe and Grove Tender, and then have a 2/4 and a 4/4. Is it worth prematurely using a swipe? Well, what are the odds he's going to put out more stuff for me? Yeah, alright, we're going to go ahead and do this. You should always draw cards first. Since I have fewer cards than he does, for each of us to draw a card benefits me more than it benefits him. And that was a totally kind of a tempo play. I mean, I could have just shapeshifted away that Dragonhawk. So I didn't need to swipe that thing. I just wanted to keep this 4/4 on the table. Now if he spends his whole turn playing something huge, I'm going to go for more tempo with Naturalize. Then I have 5 burn damage, plus 6 is 11, 12. Still a little bit shy of killing him, but that might be my best chance of winning. If he plays like a 4-drop and a 3-drop, that's where I would be in bad shape. Interesting. This isn't quite worth naturalizing, unfortunately. Shoot. Shucks-a-daisy-do. Oh, man. It's not worth naturalizing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I feel like I have to have a chance of winning this. So we get more board presence. And, oh, we got the old swapping positions bug. He's now got 10 full cards here. I've blown my Naturalize, so a big thing here like an Iron Bark would just be devastating because I'd have to throw both these guys at it to kill it. Or both of these guys and this one to kill it or something like that. See, if he has an Iron Bark, I'm pretty much toast. Even a Sunwalker would be a bit of a struggle. But if he doesn't have anything with Taunt, it's kind of hard for a Druid to remove this sort of board. And I could maybe race him to death just with my creatures. But he does have 10 full cards, so it's his run of the court here. He has the Iron Bark. Well, shucks-a-daisy-do, as they say. Alrighty. I think the best way to get rid of this is to do this, take the damage, because I got plenty of damage to spare. Moonfire! Hit him in the face for 6 damage. Hit him, play the Yeti. And do I dare play the Chow? If he kills it, he gets 5 health. If I don't play it, I might, but if he doesn't kill it, I'm obviously going to want the extra damage. What are the odds he wouldn't have a kill for the Zombie Chow, though? Yeah, I'm going to have to leave that in my hand. This is an unfortunate top deck. Alright, so we're threatening lethal. Exactly. He has 10 cards, though, so all he needs is really any kind of removal and he'll survive. But this is a bit difficult for a Druid to take down cheaply. Unless, of course, he has Naturalize. Naturalize would be pretty much game-winning for him here. Because the cards just don't matter, and for 1 mana, being able to remove this would let him spend 8 mana doing whatever else he wants. Another Iron Bark would be good for him. That probably would win him the game. Oh, Golem. Oh, this is good to see. Is he going to give it Taunt? Otherwise, it doesn't make any difference. Is he going to, like, put Mark of Nature on it? Dark Whispers. Wow. All right. That's solid. So it's basically an Iron Bark. He spent 2 cards making it, but it doesn't matter. The upshot for him is that he basically got an Iron Bark. Well, fuck. So I have to throw these 2 things at it. There's no shortcut this time. Can't play the sheep. That's another bad top deck I got. And I'm fucked. Should have played the zombie chow last turn. Now I'm going to just play because I got nothing to lose. Sheep would be a mistake because he could shapeshift into it and damage my stuff. But he had the goods. He needed an Iron Bark for 2 turns in a row. And he basically had an Iron Bark for 2 turns in a row. Now I could still win. How could I still win? Well, if I get Starfire back to back, that's enough to kill him. I think I have Druid of the Claw here. That would deal some damage. Okay, he's healing, but it's not taunt, so... Oh, he's healing some more. Oh, shoot. Well, this is a case where Healing Touch actually works, because he's way ahead on cards, and he can afford it. Jesus. Wow, my top decks have been terrible. Just unbelievably terrible. I've gotten, you know, 1-drops and a Sheep when I really needed Starfires and an Ancient of War. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this game. I think maybe my deck's just not as good as I thought it was. At least in this game, it really showed how I got all these really bad top decks when I needed to be able to burst the opponent down. And my attempt to tempo him to death just utterly failed. Oh, he had a 3rd Iron Bark. Okay, well, let's draw a card and concede. I needed a silence. I don't think I actually was offered any silence in this draft. Either I wasn't offered any, or I took it and didn't draw it, because I never pass a silence anymore. Alright, well, let's draw a card and concede. Yeah, Druid of the Claw is just too little too late. I can kill the Iron Bark, but then it doesn't matter. I'm so far behind. That was frustrating. I don't know. I would like to blame myself, but maybe these picks, I don't know. Either I picked the wrong things on those picks, or they were just bad picks and I had no choice but to take those weak cards that lost me the game when I needed something stronger. It's really too bad. But like, instead of the Infiltrator, the Sheep, or the Zombie Chow, if I had gotten like a Druid of the Claw or a Starfire, I still could have won that game. So it's that was a complex situation to analyze. It's hard to tell if I lost due to bad luck or bad play. Okay, well, let's see. It's Amram gets Owen. I don't know. I'm not even gonna hesitate. I'm not gonna even hazard any guesses about what that means. Clearly, I just don't know any pop culture or anime references. I'm sure this is from the anime called Hazmaboob, and it's really, really popular in Korea or something. And Mra gets Owen is just a national hero, and I never heard about him, and everyone's gonna laugh at me, but I don't know what that is. So, this game, the Infiltrator, of course, is a nice card to see. Coming up on turn 1. It's a good totem killer. I have the Tron rather than the Sheep, which is nice. It makes a totem, so please don't be the 1/1. It's not the 1/1. Yay! So we get to play the Tron. We got Moonfire. We're ready for action. This is like the Goldshire Footman of spells. Turn 3 is awkward, so I'm hoping I'll have a good target for Claw Shapeshift, or better yet, Moonfire Shapeshift, although it's not likely with him being at 3 mana. And then turn 4 I can coin out a Druid of the Claw. Don't mind that this guy's a prime Hex target, because I got Ancient of War, which is like one of the primest Hex targets in the game. And the more Hexes I can get out of here, out of his hand, before I play this, the better. Oh man, when he played that Harvest Golem, I was so excited. And then I was like, wait, no, is he going to put a buff on it? Mark of Nature? Mark of the Wild? No, Dark Whispers. Worst possible thing that could have happened. Alright, he makes a totem on turn 3. Again, it's not a 1/1, which is great news, but I don't need to use Claw or Shapeshift or Naturalize, so that just sort of sucks. Well, the best thing we can do here is Shapeshift and use the Tron to kill off the totem so that I can get an extra point of damage on his face. And he's got a very slow start. Nothing on turn 2 or 3. I got creatures that I played, but because of his hero power, I haven't really dealt as much damage to him as I would have if he had been, say, like a warrior or something. Alright, here's Ascension. So how do we handle Ascension? I could just ignore it. It's one option. I could play Druid of the Claw. I'm not going to play Druid of the Claw with Charge, tempting as that is. I could Claw, Shapeshift, and use Infiltrator. Unfortunately, Claw, Shapeshift, and Tron doesn't quite kill it. I could do Claw, Shapeshift, Moonfire to kill it. So I'd be 2 for 1-ing, but I get to keep my creature. I think the right move is just to play the Druid. I could go for the Shredder, or could have gone for the Shredder as well, but I think that would have been a bit passive versus this engine. The Druid, you know, trumps this engine rather severely. If you don't play it with the charge, of course.
Do you need a blessing?
Alright, the Priest is good to see, provided I can get past this engine. Hoping the buff goes on the Totem. Earthshock, so lucky he didn't get spell damage or this thing would have died. And he's gonna Rockbiter with the Sen'jin to kill off my Druid. This is a bit of a mistake. He should have put the Rockbiter on the Sen'jin, then he wouldn't have had to hit me with his face. Okay, so luckily the Totem does get the buff. That's significant, because it means that I can kill the Sen'jin without too much difficulty. We'll do this. Play the Shredder. Either I Moonfire to kill this thing, or I just trade the Tron for it. Let's Moonfire. This is what or I could just leave it alone and kill it next turn with Shapeshift. I got nothing to do next turn. I think that actually might be the play. Oh, though that's just tempting fate. Now let's just Moonfire. Whatever. No point in hitting the Totem, because of course the Totem will regenerate itself. So we'll just leave it alone. He's got 5 cards in a Totem. I have 6 cards ostensibly, but the Ruby and Egg is a bit weird. Frost Elemental again. Luckily I don't need to naturalize this one. But I would love to... jeez, I'd love to do anything this turn. I can't. Naturalize just can't be correct. It just can't be. Wow, this is shitty that all I got with these claws. Can't kill that Totem because of the Young Priestess buff, so I just have to hit his face. That was lame. He's gonna catch up now. Shoot. You know what? Maybe I just overhyped this deck. It's got severe hand issues. These claws are a problem. The Naturalize, while sometimes good, is sometimes useless. And I just don't have enough to do while I'm waiting for my Ancient of War to come online. Alright, that was a clever combo. So the Violet Teacher is going to come back to life. Oh, the Frost Elemental is going to come back to life? Interesting. I thought he would have done the Violet Teacher to keep the 1/1s coming. Well, we need to now get a swipe, or it's impossible to win. Okay. Need to Starfire that. I think it would be a little bit too passive to play the Ancient of War here. I do have an Owl in this deck. How nice. Well, we'll do that next time. Hopefully he won't... Yeah, hopefully he won't suicide it against anything. He's a bit low on cards. He's got this regenerating 5/2, which won't regenerate after I play my Owl. And I have a bunch of dumb cards. I don't know. This could be anyone's game, honestly. This thing heals up. If I silence this, I can't actually kill that very easily. But I'm gonna have to. So we silence it up. And unfortunately, if I claw to kill this, I cannot claw Shapeshift to kill that. So this thing will become a 5/4 very soon. Once I naturalize, but I just still don't think that's the right move. Okay, so we'll do claw Shapeshift to kill off that thing. And I'll play the Blue-Gila Warrior, even though the Blue-Gila Warrior is going to die, because I need to make some progress on keeping this totem count low. So this is really my last hope. If he has a Hex for it, I'm going to be in trouble. Man, 2 games in a row, getting brutalized by a Frost Elemental. That's unfortunate. Alright, he's going to get a random 6 drops. That'll be his other way of healing it. He gets a 5/5 back, so it's kind of like a indirect heal. And Jeeves, I see. Well, that's really interesting. So I think I'm going to have to play with Jeeves and actually use this Naturalize now. Okay, so the way we do it is we play the Ancient of War. We Naturalize his 5/5 so that I can use up Jeeves. We use a Claw to kill off the 3/2. And now I get 2 cards off of Jeeves, so I should be okay card-wise. He's got 6, 7, and a totem. I have 5, soon to be 6, and a 0/1, which could still be useful if I buff it with the Cleric. He drew a lot of cards, so if there's any hexes in here, he's got a decent odds of having it. And he has it. Well, he chose not to suicide Jeeves, which, I don't know, could be really good, or it might be his undoing. It depends on how many cards he can play here. Looks like he's going to play a fair few. Yeah, okay, so he played a bunch of stuff. Didn't get anything off of Jeeves, though. He might have wanted to suicide Jeeves here. He's playing with fire by not getting rid of Jeeves when he had the chance. So, I'm going to play the Yeti, play the Bluegill. I'm going to play the Sheep, because I don't really care if any of my own cards die to it, since I want the extra card off of Jeeves, and the Sheep is pretty crappy anyway. There's a Swipe and a Dark Whispers. Perfect. Unfortunately, you cannot quite play Druid of the Claw and Dark Whispers with Charge without an Innervator, a coin to help out. But I can play Druid of the Claw and Swipe. Or Dark Whispers and Swipe, if there's any creature left on the table, though I doubt there will be. Okay, so he uses Jeeves to kill off the Sheep. That kills off my Egg and my Cleric. Force Tank Max is solid, and I've already used up my Naturalize. I think I'm going to lose this game. It's looking really grim. Oh, Novice Engineer does not work well with trying to play Jeeves. So, balls. So balls. What do we do? Dark Whispers and Swipe? That doesn't really work very well. Swipe doesn't actually do anything good for me. I guess Swipe gets the Divine Shield off of that. So I can draw 1 card off of Jeeves. I don't know if that's actually worth it. Oh man, I could just play this with Charge, run in, and that doesn't really do anything for me. Wait, I could make a bunch of Wisps. Maybe that's the way to do it. Okay, we'll go for the Wisps here. If he has a Lightning Storm, I'm fucked, but I'm already pretty fucked, so, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as the old saying goes. We're gonna kill off that thing, kill off that thing. Get a card from Mr. Jeeves. I don't know. He's got the advantage here, for sure. Leper Gnome doesn't really matter, that's a good thing to see. Yeti is decent. But things could have been much worse. Don't forget, this could have been worse. Is he going for my face? Ah, he's going for the old face-a-roo. He should really kill the Yeti, though. He's not sacrificing Jeeves. Is he going to hit the Yeti? Ah, he takes the Yeti out. Okay, so he's trying to finish me off with Force Tank Max. A pretty sensible plan, I think. Okay. Druid of the Claw. Can I win? 4, 8. Plus 5 is 13. Can't quite win. I would die if I did that. So what I'm going to do is just play both of them for the taunt. And kill off, you know, as much of this stuff as I can. We're going to kill off this totem, and we're going to kill off this totem. And then we're going to see if he can get past 2 of these druids. I mean, he can kill them both with the axe and with Force Tank, but he might not be able to kill me. Ah, there's another hex. I think I'm dead. Oh, he's got 2 silences, wow. Or a hex and a silence. So now he can use that, and then the Force Tank and the Yeti kill him. Oh my god. Alright, I don't know what happened there. I think maybe I just overhyped the deck. It did have a lot of epics. Could be that I misdrafted, could be that I played wrong. Or perhaps I just overhyped the deck and it wasn't very good. It had too many like wacky cards like Naturalize and Moonfire. Or maybe my draws were just bad. Hard to say. Either way, that was one of the strongest looking drafts I ever had that ended up being an absolute disaster. So let's open up the pack. Briefly consider not posting this video to preserve some of my humility. Realize I can't do that because I already posted the previous one. Look at the pack. There's nothing good. Okay. Well, let's add a an embarrassing mark to my stats sheet. Druid 2. And see who's up next. So we're looking for priests. I would like to see a priest here. Priest? No priest. Alright, so it's mage or warlock. Well, I feel like winning, so let's go ahead and do mage. Yeah. That's awful. Okay, that's good. And this is pretty mediocre. So we had awful, good, mediocre. Let's take the one playable card there. Polymorph is a natural. So far, nothing difficult. Alright, here's a difficult choice. You take the cheap buff or the endgame beatdown. I'm going to take the buff. I think it's too valuable to pass up. Fireball, although the tiger is sad to pass on. Oh man, Fireball or Ogre? I'll take Fireball. I think it's worth it. But now I really do need to pick up some big dudes. Alright, there's one. That's good. This sucks. This is going to have a decent amount of spells. The Blade Master's so meh. Let's take the Experimenter. Trog is the only playable card there. Healer fits the curve better, but the Shredder's just better. Alright, I could do another Trog. Really go for the 4-mana spike. Arcane Missiles can be weak in multiples. Like I said, stop giving me Arcane Missiles, game. Flesh Eating Ghoul is so mediocre, so is the Voodoo Doctor. I will take the missiles over the mediocre creatures. Okay, we gotta get some 2-drops, I think. Third Fireball, you pretty much can't go wrong taking a lot of Fireballs. So do I take the Silence? It's hard to pass on a Silence, but with a Polymorph and 3 Fireballs, I basically have a lot of removal. I think I'm going to go for the card advantage here because I could use some cards. Frostable Warlord is pretty sad. We'll take the Loot Hoarder. The other stuff's junk, so we'll take the Ooze. Kodo or the Argus. Buff and Taunt could be useful. I don't have very much Taunt here. Kodo is straight up removal though, and it's a bigger body. We'll take the Kodo. Well, that was a tough call. 2-drop or Cone. I need something for the early game, so we'll pass on the Cone, even though it's very tempting. Grab a good 1-drop, because those are good to have. Flame Cannon is a terrific spell. We're looking now for some bigger bodies. That's not one of them. Take a Wolf Rider for some more damage. Flame Cannon. I'll take another Wolf Rider over the second Flame Cannon. Really got to get some bigger bodies, so we'll take the Healer. Oh my god, I cannot get a big creature to save my life. Please give me something big. Oh, nope, not a chance. Alright, we'll take a 1-drop. Ah, my lord. Okay, that draft just sucked. So I passed on a Force Tank Max and an Ogre to take very reasonable alternatives, and then just, after that Ventricle Mercenary, never saw another big card. So I think I'm just going to lose because my cards are junk, and if I don't get off to a roaring fast start and burn the opponent down with Fireballs, there's no chance of winning. I pretty much have to have really great starts in every game, or else my hand's going to get clogged with 2 and 3s that just get outclassed by the opponent's creatures and I lose. Be gross, says the Warlock. Alright, we have a pair of 2s. So, do I keep the third 2-drop? I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to play one on turn 1, the other on turn 2. I've really got to try to mulligan for my 3s and 4s. I do have a spike at 4 mana, so that could win me some games, but I don't think I can afford to keep an extra 2-drop. Alright, Voidwalker is nice to see. That makes my play very easy. Obviously, here you go for the Fairy Dragon. This could have been a Force Tank Max. I regret that decision in general, but here that is nice because it'll give me something to do on turn 3. Having a perfect curve with a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and even a 5 play is the kind of luck I need in order to win this. Alright, so the Loot Hoarder is a good follow-up because... oh, the spiders come back. So... we kill that, and then the Fairy Dragon will trade with his Fairy Dragon, or my Loot Hoarder trades with the Fairy Dragon. Either way, I'm up a card. I'm up a card right now. We can either stay equal or I go up another card. Okay. Well, he's going for tempo here. This not being a Force Tank Max is quite helpful because it helps me clear the board and go up a card.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Pretty significant. I mean, I could have pinged the Flesh Eating Ghoul, of course, but having a creature on the table is better than pinging it. Alright, the Void Caller is his bid to try to get ahead. Do I dare ping this thing to death? Taking his bait. Well, I don't need to ping it right now. I can just leave it alone, play my good 4-drop, which outclasses his 4-drop, and then I can ping this later. Or I could even do something different. I could run into the Void Caller to finish it off and play Darkscale Healer to heal at my guy.
So many possibilities.
Looks like a Dark Iron Dwarf there, maybe? Alright, or he's thinking about it. It could be power overwhelming. Oh, it's neither. It's actually a Demon Fire. Well, doesn't work too well, because I can finish this off pretty easily now. So, alright, we'll call his bluff. Let's ping that off, see what he gets. 6-6. Story of my goddamn life is Warlock's getting that goddamn 6-6 off of Demon Callers. In the arena, no less. Well, luckily, I can kill this off with Fireball. Or if he chooses to kill the Shadow Sun Cleric, I can kill it off with Wolf Rider. The problem is his health is high enough he could life tap quite a bit more and catch up on cards. Which seems to be what he's trying to do. Alright, the Warper's not too big of an issue yet. And he does go for the bigger kill. Alright. Oh, Zombie Chow. How I really didn't want to take that card. But now I don't really want to play it because I don't want to give him 5 health. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. We're just going to do this. Or I guess I could still play Zombie Chow. Alright, bring it. I'll play it. So we're giving up the potential to win with burn and going for a fair victory, which is difficult. But I did get 2 of my 2 5-drops, my 2 biggest cards in the deck. And if they're good, then I could actually end up being okay. Alright, he goes up a card with the Coil. Still has 6 mana to play a creature with. He life taps. Anticipating, I suppose, the juicy 5 health from Mr. Chow. Okay, well, let's pop the missiles and see where they hit. That wasn't as good as it could have gone. Alright, let's give him his health. I don't think I can afford to dick around with throwing a spider in and picking. Doomsayer. Okay, well, I could fireball that thing to death, but I'd honestly rather just have it kill itself. And my spiders. Fireball should be more valuable either for killing something or maybe still going on his face. I mean, I'm going to have Ventricle Mercenary here. Oh, geez, he's got a 4-tank max. Well, that'll kill the Mercenary in pretty high style. So what I have to do then is ping off the shield and play the Mercenary so that these can trade. If he life taps enough, he might get within range of 2 fireballs and just die. That's a possibility. I do have 3 fireballs in the deck. Voidwalker's annoying. But what would be more of a problem is if he actually killed my Ventricle Mercenary. That would be like an actual real big issue. Alright, he life taps after playing 2 cheap creatures, which is a bit of a misplay. Goes for the face. Alright, so he's trying to burn me out. Makes sense. He's not doing the trade. He's letting this Voidwalker block me up. Alright, well, let's draw cards and see what we get. Flame Strike might have been a card I would have considered playing. As it is, we're just going to have to suck it up and use a Fireball for something other than the face. So now I lost a Fireball to Force Tank Max. I'm threatening to hit him for 7. Let's see if he's got an answer for that. If he tries the Voidwalker trick again, I'm going to Flame Strike his ass. If I had had the Flame Strike, I would have totally played it last turn. I would have gotten to hit him for 7. And then he would have been within sniping range of a couple of fireballs. Floating Watcher's not a big deal. I especially like the fact that he's going to damage himself. So unless he can give those things taunt, I'm going to be pretty happy with this turn of events. Oh no, what are you doing to kill it with 3 mana? Ah, he's going to double it with Shadow Bolt and... So now I can play minions again, but... Unfortunately, everything I play just dies to this thing. Well, let's play it all out. And I'm going to ping his face. I still think that's one of my best chances of winning is to top deck 2 fireballs, which could very well happen. We're down to the last dregs of the deck. And try to burn him out. If enough of my creatures hit me, then even a single fireball could win me the game. I like the Floating Watcher. It's tempting him to life tap. And if he does, that just helps me sneak out the win that much more easily. Demolisher dies to Flame Strike, so it's never going to fire. Does he play something else, though? Or is he going to try to not extend against a Flame Strike? Demon Fire, so he's doing a pretty good job not extending against it so far. Alright, there it is. He succumbs to temptation, plays the Cobra, and he succumbs to further temptation with the life tap. He really should have life tapped first if he was going to life tap at all, because the sequence of plays he made wasn't very impressive. So now we get to Flame Strike to kill everything. King. Hit him in his face, and alright, just gotta get Fireball and I can almost win. I have plenty of time to draw into it. Unfortunately, I've already used Loot Hoarder and Arcane Intellect, and I passed on Acolyte. So I might not be able to... I don't have any card draw left, I don't think. I've also used Flame Strike, Ventrico, so I've used up all my big things. I still have a Polymorph, though, which could buy me some time. And this Flame Cannon, I wish it were a Frostbolt. Flame Cannon just got made worthless by all this crap he played. Alright, still could win though. Fireball right off the top would just win me the game. So we hit him. Play this just to be annoying. I could ping off Mr. Bitey, but honestly, it's not worth it. I'd rather just play this dude. So he has to kill everything I play, and all I need to do is not die. There's 2 fireballs left in here. No there's no Flame Strikes to buy me any more time. But I could... Oh no! He heals. Oh, jeez. Well, there's a lot of healing cards in the game now, so that could be a problem. So now if Fireball doesn't win me the game, I have to get my other Fireball as well. Luckily, this Shredder's very annoying. But I could get into trouble here. Captain's Parrot. Not the most helpful 2-drop I could have found off of my drop. Alright, I've got a few turns to get 2 Fireballs. Cone of Cold actually increases the amount of time I have by quite a bit. So let's ping that. Freeze his team. And Flame Cannon, is it worth casting? I think it is, because it has a 1 in 3 chance of killing the Violet Teacher, which would stop him from getting students. I might as well. It wasn't going to do me any good anyway, in my hand. So we just gotta hold out for those 2 Fireballs. Or a Fireball and a Wolf Rider, or something. Sea Giant is a scary thing, so I've got... Well, I have to get a Fireball right now. And I didn't. Well, I could still get one. I don't even... Actually, I forgot about this thing. Yes, I get to draw more cards. Woohoo. It's a Wolf Rider, which is a little bit heartbreaking because that could have dealt 3 damage. Unfortunately, luck is not with me, I guess, today. He's got 14 damage, so I'm dead in 2 turns. But he really does need to kill my stuff. But 1 Fireball won't do it anymore, so he just kills my stuff and kills me the following turn. Blood Imp's pretty much a wasted card. Succubus is a hard hitter, which is a problem. Okay, so he takes care of the chicken that way. Hits me with the Sea Giants. And the Micro Machine gets buffed by the Blood Imp, so unfortunately, I'm in a bit of trouble. Alright, Polymorph's a decent top deck, so we can take away that. And I can ping this, but the problem is now he's hitting me for 9-10 damage, so I'm dead the following turn, and there's no single card I can draw that would win me the game. So yeah, I just lose. Ah, God. What a horrifically bad video. Nothing. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I could have done there differently. It was just a rough game. I needed those Fireballs to be closer to the top. But 2 of them were like on the very bottom of my deck. Alright. This doesn't buy me any extra time. He just kills me. Oh, man. Well, the good news is that even if I top decked that Wolf Rider instead of the Gnomish Experimenter, I never did get the Fireball I actually needed to be able to kill him. Even if he hadn't gotten Siphon Soul, he would have won that game. Because 2 Fireballs were buried in the last 6 cards of my deck. Bullshit. Alright, that'll do it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.